Hi, I'm Kels from my Thermomix Adventures. I'm going to make sticky toffee pudding, and this is using your Varoma, which I think is probably the least used part of most people's Thermomix. So let's get started. I'm starting off by adding 60 grams of unsalted butter and some soft brown sugar. This is a Cookidoo recipe, so you can get the precise weights off Cookidoo. 75 grams of golden syrup. I do love golden syrup. And 40 grams of full cream milk. A little bit of vanilla extract. Says a quarter teaspoon, just give it a little drop in there. I quite like a little bit more rather than less. And then we're going to cook this. This is actually making our toffee sauce for the sticky toffee pudding, and it's going to cook at 100 degrees, speed 2 for 7 minutes. My sticky toffee sauce is ready, and if you look at the front of the Thermomix, there are red lights there that just tell us that the Thermomix is hot. If I want to actually work out how hot what's on there is, I can go to my home screen and I can see at the top of that middle dial it says 98 degrees. At the little green book sign, it takes me back to my recipe. And what I'm going to do now is to put my toffee sauce, there you go. I'm going to put that in a jug. I've got my toffee sauce, which is going to cool, and as it cools, it's going to thicken a little bit. This is something, if I'm doing it for a dinner party, I do this part of the recipe earlier on in the day and just leave it in the fridge, and I just blast it in the microwave for 30 seconds just to loosen it up a little bit. Now we're going to move on to the actual, the puddings. I've got some dates, which have been soaking with some bicarb. That's going to go in, and that's the first part of the Cookidoo instructions, is to put the boiling water in with your dates to soak. And we're now going to put those in our Thermomix bowl. You don't need to wash your bowl because that's just lovely sugar, milk and butter. That's just a really yummy caramel sauce, and it's not going to make any difference to our recipe other than making it even more yummy. So 40 grams of butter, 110 grams of dark brown sugar, 150 grams of plain flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 egg. The lid's going to go on, and this is now going to be mixed up 20 seconds. So have a look at that. That's our batter done. And now we just need to divide evenly between little dariole molds. These are the Thermomix molds that fit into the Varoma. You can use dariole molds like these, or you can even use a bundt tin, anything that will fit into your Varoma. I'm going to evenly split this between the dariole molds. There is a little bit more batter than the molds, so I might make some more later, but roughly fill them up to halfway. So roughly halfway full, because they're going to rise. I quite often do a dariole mold and then I slice them into pieces so it's a bit more of a cake. So we've got some leftover batter there, and the recipe tells you to clean and dry the mixing bowl. I usually just use the dirty mixing bowl and put the water in it. I've got 700 grams of water in here, and my Varoma is going to sit on that to steam. And I'm going to place these. These are the Thermomix ones. So they actually, if you can see, they're slotting in together. And then that's going to go on top with the Varoma lid. And I'm going to turn that on, and it's going to cook for half an hour and steam, and then they'll be ready. So our sticky toffee puddings are ready. Little tip there, turn your lid of your Varoma over, and then you can place your Varoma on top. So any steam will drain onto the lid. Now, we've just got to pop these out. I've got my sticky toffee sauce, and you can see that's much thicker than it was. Okay, so we've got the Varoma, and let me take one. These are going to be hot. Just loosening that